सर्वमंगलमांगल्ये शिवे सर्वार्थ साधिके शरण्ये त्र्यंबिके गौरी नारायणी नमस्तुते नारायणी नमस्तुते नारायणी नमस्तुते। जय जय देवी अम्बा भवानी माता। 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 जय जय देवी अम्बा भवानी माता।
जय जय देवी अम्बा भवानी माता।
हाथ जोड़ कर तेरे चरणों में ले लो मेरा प्रणाम। हाथ जोड़ कर तेरे चरणों में ले लो मेरा प्रणाम। ले लो मेरा प्रणाम। ले लो मेरा प्रणाम। जय जगदीश्वरी त्रिशूलधारिणी माता। जय जगदीश्वरी त्रिशूलधारिणी माता। त्रिशूलधारिणी माता। त्रिशूलधारिणी माता। त्रिशूलधारिणी माता। त्रिशूलधारिणी माता। जय जय देवी अम्बा भवानी माता। जय जय देवी
अम्बा भवानी माता।
करुणा सागर सुनो मेरी पूजा। ले लो मेरा प्रणाम। करुणा सागर सुनो मेरी पूजा। ले लो मेरा प्रणाम। ले लो मेरा प्रणाम। ले लो मेरा प्रणाम। जगत पालनी जय जग जननी माता। जगत पालनी जय जग जननी माता। 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 जय जय देवी अम्बा भवानी माता। देवी साई माँ, देवी सरस्वती माँ, देवी साई माँ, देवी सरस्वती माँ, दुर्गा भवानी माँ, काली कपालिनी माँ, दुर्गा भवानी माँ, काली कपालिनी जगदोधारिणी जगदोधारिणी सत्य साई दया करो सत्य साई दया करो देवी साई माँ, देवी सरस्वती माँ, दुर्गा भवानी माँ, काली कपालिनी दुर्गा भवानी माँ, काली कपालिनी जगदोधारिणी जगदोधारिणी सत्य साई दया करो सत्य साई दया करो
जगदीश्वरी दया करो माँ, शिव शंकरी कृपा करो माँ,
जगदीश्वरी दया करो माँ, शिव शंकरी कृपा करो माँ,
जगदीश्वरी दया करो माँ, शिव शंकरी कृपा करो माँ,
जगदीश्वरी दया करो माँ, शिव शंकरी कृपा करो माँ,
साईश्वरी रक्षा करो माँ,
साईश्वरी रक्षा करो माँ,
साईश्वरी रक्षा करो माँ,
साईश्वरी रक्षा करो माँ, पुटपर्दीश्वरी भला करो, पुटपर्दीश्वरी भला करो माँ, पुटपर्दीश्वरी भला
शंकरी कृपा करो माँ।
शिव शंकरी कृपा करो माँ।
जगदीश्वरी दया करो माँ।
जगदीश्वरी दया करो माँ।
शिव शंकरी कृपा करो माँ।
शिव शंकरी कृपा करो माँ।
साईश्वरी रक्षा करो माँ।
साईश्वरी रक्षा करो माँ।
पुट्टपर्तीश्वरी भला करो माँ।
पुट्टपर्तीश्वरी भला करो माँ।
शिव शंकरी कृपा करो माँ।
शिव शंकरी कृपा करो माँ।
शिव शंकरी कृपा करो माँ।
Check 1 2. Check 1 2. Song 1 2. 3 check 1 2. Song.
जगदोतारिणी माता दुर्गा जगदोतारिणी माँ।
जगदोधारिणी माता दुर्गा जगदोधारिणी माँ।
जगदोतारिणी माता दुर्गा जगदोतारिणी माँ।
जगदोधारिणी माता दुर्गा जगदोधारिणी माँ।
जागो जागो माँ, जागो जागो माँ, जागो जागो माँ जननी। जागो जागो माँ,
जागो जागो माँ, जागो जागो माँ जननी।
जागो जागो माँ, जागो जागो माँ, जागो जागो माँ जननी। जागो जागो माँ,
जागो जागो माँ, जागो जागो माँ जननी।
हे गौरी देवी रणचंद्र देवी।
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 हे शिव रमणा जागो माँ।
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 जागो जगदोधारिणी माँ।
जागो जगदोधारिणी माँ।
जागो जगदोधारिणी माँ।
जागो जगदोधारिणी माँ।
जगदोधारिणी माता दुर्गा जगदोधारिणी माँ। जगदोधारिणी
तारिणी माता दुर्गा जगदोधारिणी माँ।
जागो जागो माँ, जागो जागो माँ, जागो जागो माँ जननी। जागो जागो माँ,
जागो जागो माँ, जागो जागो माँ जननी।
हे गौरी देवी रणचंद्र देवी।
हे
जय जय भवानी माँ अम्बे भवानी माँ
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 अम्बे भवानी माँ साई 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 भवानी माँ
जय जय भवानी माँ अम्बे भवानी माँ
जय जय भवानी माँ अम्बे भवानी माँ
शिरडी निवासी माँ पलटी निवासी माँ
शिरडी निवासी माँ परटी निवासी माँ
शिरडी निवासी माँ पलटी निवासी माँ
शिरडी निवासी माँ परटी निवासी माँ
हृदय निवासी माँ साई भवानी 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 माँ
जय जय भवानी माँ अम्बे भवानी माँ
जय जय भवानी माँ अम्बे भवानी माँ
अम्बे भवानी माँ साई भवानी माँ
अम्बे भवानी माँ साई भवानी माँ
जय जय भवानी माँ अम्बे भवानी माँ
जय जय भवानी माँ अम्बे भवानी माँ
शिरडी निवासी माँ पलटी निवासी माँ
शिरडी निवासी माँ परटी निवासी माँ
हृदय निवासी माँ साई भवानी 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 माँ
तेरी शरण आए देखो हे अम्बे माता
ओ माता
तेरी शरण आए देखो हे अम्बे माता
ओ माता तेरी शरण आए देखो हे अम्बे माता ओ माता तेरी शरण आए देखो हे अम्बे माता
चारों दिशा से भक्ति आशा से भक्तों के भीड़ आए
ओ माता तेरी शरण आए तेरी शरण आए। देखो हे अम्बे माता, ओ माता तेरी शरण आए। देखो हे अम्बे माता, ओ माता तेरी शरण आए। देखो हे अम्बे माता, ओ माता तेरी शरण आए। देखो हे अम्बे माता।
जय मां, दया करो साईं मां। जय मां, जय मां, दया करो साईं मां। जय मां, जय मां, दया करो साईं मां। जय मां, जय मां, दया करो साईं मां। मुक्ति प्रदायिनी, प्रेम प्रदायिनी, शांति प्रदायिनी 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 मां। जननी मां, जननी, जग जननी साईं 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 मां। दया करो साईं मां। दया करो साईं मां। दया करो साईं मां। दया करो साईं मां। जय मां, जय मां, दया करो साईं मां। जय मां, जय मां, दया करो साईं मां। मुक्ति प्रदायिनी, प्रेम प्रदायिनी, शांति प्रदायिनी मां। मुक्ति प्रदायिनी, प्रेम प्रदायिनी, शांति प्रदायिनी मां। जननी मां, जननी, जग जननी साईं मां। जननी मां, जननी, जग जननी साईं मां। दया करो साईं मां। दया करो साईं मां।
Sitaram devotees, a warm welcome to each and every one of you this evening at the Hanuman Darshan Ashram. On behalf of all the devotees, my family and members, warm welcome. Tonight being our second night. Before we commence, we have had bhajans to tune our minds to the feet of Bhagwan, the Divine Mother of this universe. Keeping in mind that all of us are embodiments of divinity. All of us are living in this divine temple, the human body, and we have come to offer ourselves at the feet of Bhagwan, Divine Shakti Durga Ma, today being the second day of Navratri. Let us offer our hearts and our minds to the Divine Mother. Clasp your hands and keep your gaze on the Murti of Ma Devi Durga. You don't have to close your eyes. If you close your eyes, your mind will tend to run away. Focus upon the Mother and as you pray. Hari Om, Hari Om, Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Om Gurur Brahma Gurur Vishnu Gurur Devo Maheshwaram Gurur Sakshat Param Brahma Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Om Ekam Nityam Vimalam Achalam Sarvada Sakshi Bhutam Bhavatitam Trigunarahitam Sadgurum Tvam Namami. Om Yam Brahma Vedanta Vido Vadanti Param Pradhanam Purusham Tathanye Vishvodagate Karanam Ishwaram Va Tasmai Namo Vighna Vinashanaya. Om Vinadhare Vipula Mangaladana Shile Bhaktarthinashini Viranchi Harishavande Kirti Prade Akhila Manorath De Mahare Vidya Pradayini Saraswati Naumi Nityam. Hari Om. Om Jayanti Mangala Kali Bhadrakali Kapalini Durga Kshama Shiva Dhatri Swaha Swadha Namostute. Om Atulata Baladhamam Hema Shaila Badeham Dhanujavan Krishanu Jnaninama Garganyam Sakala Guru Nidhanam Vanaranam Adhisham Raghupati Priya Bhaktam Vatajatam Namami. Om Namo Hanumate. Om Ham Hanumate Rudratmakaya Hum Phat. Om Namo Hanumate Namaha. Om Neelambuja Shyamal Komalangam Sita Samaro Rapita Vama Bhagam Pano Mahasayaka Charu Chapam Namami Ramam Raghuvanshanatham. Om Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya Cha Nanda Gopakumaraya Govindaya Namo Namaha. Om Radha Krishnaya Namaha. Om Lakshmi Narayana Bhyam Namaha. Om Vani Hiranyagarbhyam Namaha. Om Shantakaram Bhujagasayanam Padmanabham Suresham Vishwadharam Gaganasadrisham Meghavarna Shubhangam Lakshmikantam Kamalanayanam Yogi Bhirdhyana Gamyam Bande Vishnu Bhavabhayaharanam Sarvalokekanatham. Gaze on the murtis as we now bow before the murtis. All these murtis are expressions of the divine. Just as Bhagavan entered the human form and is called a human being, so the Lord appeared in these forms and is called Avatar. So Avatar is when the divine appeared, or when the part of the Lord of Himself enters in the human world in a human body, it is called a human being. A human being is no other than a spark of pure divinity. Mamaivanshu jiva loke. A spark of me become the living soul in the world of human beings. Eternally in this body, with mind and five senses, we bow to that divine, or Father, or Pita, or Jagadisha. Hari Om. Keep your gaze on the murtis and you bow before the murtis. Om Namo Swanantaya Sahasramurte Sahasraparakshi Sirorubahave Sahasranamne Purushaya Shashvate Sahasrakoti Yugadharane Namaha. Om. We now ask the favor of the Divine Mother, the Divine Mother who put us in this human body, who nourishes us every day, and one day will retrieve us from this human body. Unto Thee we offer prayer. Om. Hari Om. Devi Prapannarti Hare Prasida Prasida Matar Jagato Khilasya Prasida Vishweshwari Pahi Vishwam Tvamishwari Devi Characharasya. Om. Adi Shakti Jagadamba Mata Ki Jai. Let's all stand for Aarti. The words are simple in the Aarti. Please, if you know, sing with me. If you don't know, listen and you learn. Om Jayambe Gauri Maya Jai Shama Gauri Tumko nis din dhyawat Hari Brahma Shivaji. Om Jai Ambe Gauri Jai Ambe Gauri Maya Jai Shama Gauri Tumko nis din sevat Hari Brahma Shivaji. Om Jai Ambe Gauri Manga Sindura Virajat Tiko Mrigamad Ko Ujjwal Se Do Naina Chandra Vadanani Ko. Om Jai Ambe Gauri Kanaka Samana Kalevar Raktambar Raje Rakta Pushpa Kalamala Kanthhar Saje. Om Jai Ambe Gauri. Bolo Jai Ambe Gauri Maya Jai Shama Gauri Tumko nis din dhyawat हरि ब्रह्मा शिव जी। ओम जय अम्बे गौरी। के हरि वाहन राजत खगर खपर धारी। सुर नर मुनि जन सेवक इनके दुख हारी। ओम जय अम्बे गौरी। कानन कुंडल शोभित नासाग्रे मोती। कोटिक चंद्र दिवाकर समराजत ज्योति। ओम जय अम्बे गौरी। शुंभ निशुंभ विदारे महिषासुर घाती। धूम्र विलोचन नैना निस्दिन मदमाती। ओम जय अम्बे गौरी। बोलो जय अम्बे गौरी। मैया जय श्यामा गौरी। तुमको निस दिन सेवत तुमको निस दिन ध्यावत हरि ब्रह्मा शिव जी। ओम जय अम्बे गौरी। ब्रह्मानी रुद्रानी तुम कमला रानी। आगम निगम बखानी तुम शिव पट रानी। ओम जय अम्बे गौरी। 64 योगिनी गावत नृत्य करत भैरो। बाजत ताल मृदंगा और बाजत डमरू। ओम जय अम्बे गौरी। तुमको ही जगमाता तुम ही हो भरता। भक्तन की दुख हरता संपत्ति करता। ओम जय अम्बे गौरी। बोलो जय अम्बे गौरी।
जय श्यामा गौरी। निश दिन ध्यावत निश दिन ध्यावत हर ब्रह्मा शिव जी। ओम जय अम्बे गौरी।
उदाचार अति शोभित वरमुद्राधारी। मन वांछित फल पावत सेवत नर नारी। ओम जय अम्बे गौरी। कंचन थार विराजत अगर कपूर बाती। माल के तुम्हें राजत कोटि रतन ज्योति। ओम जय अम्बे गौरी। ओम जय अम्बे गौरी। ओम जय अम्बे गौरी। आदि शक्ति जगदम्बा माता की जय। प्रेम से आसन लीजिए। प्लीज टेक अ सीट्स। Let's bow our heads in prayer. Tonight I'll do a few verses of the Kilaka Stotram. Om Namaschandikaya Markandeya Vacha. The great sage Markandeya in these verses is glorifying the Divine Mother. Let us join with this Divine Holy One as we use His sacred words to glorify the Mother. Hari Om. विशुद्ध ज्ञान देहाय त्रिदेवी दिव्य चक्षुषे श्रेयः प्राप्ति निमित्ताय नमः सोमार्थधारिणी। ओम सर्वमेतद्विज्ञानी यान् मन्त्राणामपि कीलकं सोऽपि क्षेमवाप्नोति सततं जप्य तत्परः। सिद्ध्यान् युच्चाटनादीनि कर्माणि सकलान्यानि एतेन स्तुतां देवीं स्तोत्रवृन्देन भक्तितः न मन्त्रो नौषधं तस्य न किश्चिदति विद्यते विना जप्येन सिद्धेतु सर्वमुच्चाटनादिकम् समग्राम्यपि सेत्यन्ति लोकशङ्कामिमां हरः कृत्वा निमन्त्रयामास सर्वमेवमिदं शुभम् स्तोत्रं वै चण्डिकास्तु तच्च गुह्यं चकार सः समवाप्नोति स पुण्येन तां यथा वह्निमन्त्रणाम् सोऽपि क्षेमवाप्नोति सर्वमेव न संशयः कृष्णायां वा चतुर्दश्यादष्टभ्यां वा समाहितः ॐ जगदम्बा देवी माताय नमः ददाति प्रतिगृह्णाति नान्यथैष्पा प्रदीतति प्रसीदति इत्थं रूपेण कीलेन महादेवेन कीलकम् यो निष्किलां विधायैनां चण्डीं जपते नित्यशः स सिद्धः स गणः सोत्तः गन्धर्वो जायते भ्रुवम् न चैवापाटवं तस्य भयं क्वापि न जायते नाम मृत्यु वशं याति मृते च मोक्षमाप्नुयात् ज्ञात्वा प्रारम्य पूर्वर्ति ह्यकुर्वाणो विनश्यति ततो ज्ञात्वैव सम्पूर्णमिदं प्रारभ्यते बुद्धैः ॐ सौभाग्यादि च यत्किञ्चित् दृश्यते ललनाजने तत्सर्वं तत्प्रसादेन तेन जप्यमिदं शुभम् शनैस्तु जप्यमाने अस्मिन् स्तोत्रे सम्पत्तिरुच्यकैः भवत्यैव समग्रापि ततः प्रारभ्यमेव तत् ऐश्वर्यं तत्प्रसादेन सौभाग्यम् आरोग्यम् अमेव च शत्रुहानिः परो मोक्षः स्तूयते साहि सनाकिं जनैः चण्डिकां हृदयेनापि यः स्मरेत् सततं नरः हृद्यं कामवाप्नोति हृदि देवी सदा वसेत् in whose heart, in whose mind all is contemplated upon the glories of the Divine Mother, of a benevolent quality, which is said here, that Devi always remain with that person, that Devi remain with that devotee. Hriday Devi Sada Basit. Hriday means the heart. Sada Basit, always remain in that person's mind. Agrasto umam Mahadevi kritam kilaka varanam nishkinlacha tatha kritva patitavyam samahitaihi Om iti Shri Bhagavatyah kilako stotram sampurnam Boli Adi Shakti Jagadamba Mata ki Jai. Now, put your hand again once more together as we end this Navratri, 9 days and nights of devotion to the Mother who provides every day for us. My dear embodiments of divinity, we must never forget that we are living in this body, Dev. Here we will live, no? Don't forget that. Here we will live and here we will leave. When you leave here, take up the dead man and move from here. Panditji, This is the truth. This is what satsang is about. To come in term with the truth. This is Maya. This is only here for a time to make you feel nice. And when they're going to cough me, you're going to make a little cry. And after that, life goes on. This we are enjoying now. This is the template God Ma placed us into. This little cosmic world. This is our world that we are living in. We now listen to the 9 Shaktis, the 9 names of Mother in this now Ratri where she is glorified as Durga, Lakshmi, Saraswati and the 9 Shaktis. This is the beginning of the Devi Kavach. Kavach means an armor, a protection to the mind and body. Om Atha Devi Kavacham Om Namas Chandikayai Markande Uvacha Om Yad Guhyam Param Loke Sarva Raksha Karam Dhanam Sarva Raksha. Give protection to all. Nri means human beings, all human fellow beings. Yan Kasya Chadakhyatam Tarme Bruhi Pitamaha Brahmo Vacha. These are words of the Lord of the creation, Brahma himself. Hari Om Asti Guhyatamam Vipra Sarvbhutupakarakam Divyastu Kavacham Punyam Tashrinush Mahamune. Prathamam Shailaputriti, the first name, Shailaputri Mata. Vitiyam Brahmacharini, the second we glorify as Brahmacharini. Trityam Chandraghanta Teti, third Chandraghanta Mata. Kushmandeti Chaturdhagam, the fourth, Kushmanda Mata. Panchamam Skandamate, the fifth, I bow to Skandamata. Shashtam Katyayani Tatha, the sixth, I bow to Ma Katyayani. Saptamam Kalaratrischa, the seventh, I bow to Ma Kalaratri. Mahagauri Chashtamam, the eighth, Mahagauri, the most fair and beautiful Ma. Mahagauri Chashtamam, Namamam Siddhartricha, the ninth, I glorify as Siddhidhatri, the one who gives success. But you only get success when you work for it. You don't get what you ask for, you get what you work for. She is the one who dispenses the results of your karma. Navavam Siddhartricha, Navadurga Prakirtita. These are 9 Devis we glorify. Om Agninada Himanastu, Shatru Madhya Gatarane. Vishame Durgame Chaiva Ayartaha Sharanam Gataha. By seeking her feet, she will take you away from this fear that the mind is roving in. Hari Om. Bole Adi Shakti Jagadamba Mata Ki Jai. So now, without any further delay, we shall proceed with the first chapter where we left last night. So, I told you how to come every night to get the sweetness of this katha. So, this katha, the word katha itself means the glories of the Lord. What is said about God? Kaha means to speak, to say. So what is said about that divine Lord? Who said it? Lovely it said in our scriptures. God himself take avatar to say his glory. God himself, Namo Sute Vyasa Vishala Buddhi Phulara Vindayata Patra Netra Yena Tvaya Bharataila Purnaha Prajwarito Jnanamaya Pradeepaha Vyasaya Vishnu Rupaya. God Almighty, the all-pervading, omnipresent being, came in the form of Vyasa as an author to write his own glories. Who can tell about you except yourself? Why? They tell what they think about you, but only you can say yourself. Only you can know yourself. No one else. In our Sanatana Vedic Dharma, it is taught to us in our Vedas, in our scriptures, that God, that supreme power, that Tat Purusha, that supreme spirit, which is of course unseen, become visible for our benefit. Where we are, we are in this cage of blood, bone, and flesh. We are in this jail, suffering. Tera dard na jaane koi. No one knows the pain and suffering that you are experiencing. You may look nice outside. The fellow will paint the cage and put decoration in the cage, and the bird has no water to drink. Everybody is captivated by the beautiful cage, and the bird is suffering. This is the beautiful cage, Dave. And we are in this body. Tera dard na jaane koi. No one knows the pain and suffering that anyone undergoes. And don't mama guy yourself and mama guy nobody. And don't feel sorry for nobody. That's a mama guy of the ego. That's a pampering of the ego. You know the ego? The I. I am sorry. You're not sorry. You'll be glad inside. Don't pamper your ego. This was a song kind of bad, huh? But the truth of the song bad and tell you. Do not pamper your ego. Did Krishna feel sorry for Arjuna? Arjuna crying, put down bow and arrow in the back. Did he feel sorry? Utishtata prapta varani bodhata. Get up. Stand up. Where have this on mananiskam, anarya, adushtam, aswargyam. Where have this? This will not bring any kind of joy and happiness to you. Where this weakness come from? Stand up and fight this battle, Arjuna. Krishna never feel, oh, sorry, boy. Will we do something? Wake up, stand for the battle. This life is a battle every minute we live. It's a constant battle. So, that Supreme Brahman, that Divine Mother, placed us in this body, in here where we are. And when the Divine Mother realized that because we are in this cage, God placed us here and have given us freedom of choice. We are free to do what we want now. You had a free choice to come to satsang tonight, to come or to stay home. You made a choice. So this choice that you have made is going to bring you punya phala, great reward. You are planting a good seed and you will get it, the good results. So when that Divine Mother sees it fit, that when the human being have become derailed from the path of dharma, glanir bhavati, Arjuna, when the human become derailed, declining from the path of peace and happiness, then we see the Divine Mother will take avatar. Bhagavan will take avatar. Based on Taba Prabhu Dhari Vividha Sharira Harahu Kripanidhi Sajjana Pira. Harahu means to remove our pira, or pain and suffering. Because he is Kripanidhi. He's a fount of joy. Only God love. We don't know what is love. If you could give me a love, if you can give me, I hate you. And I hate your guts too. And as we say, Dave, common language. Don't mama guy your ego, don't pamper your ego. Be truthful. What satsang is about. To become in touch with the truth. Not mamagism. And pampering of the ego. They call it in common language, don't fool yourself. You can't fool nobody. So tonight, that Divine Mother, we pay homage. So something's going to happen tonight. So Raja Suratha become overcome by his enemies from his kingdom. He was a king. He was overthrown from his kingdom by his own wicked ministers. Deprived of his sovereignty. Even his own city, the king, now bereft of strength, was robbed of his treasury and army by his own powerful, vicious, and ill-disposed ministers. Thereafter, deprived of sovereignty, Raja Surat, left alone on a horseback for a dense forest under the pretext of hunting. Whilst he moving in the forest, he saw the hermitage of the Brahmanas, the enlightened holy ones. The great king, the supreme among the holy ones, inhabited by wild animals which were peaceful and graced by the disciples of the sage, he entertained the sage Ratasurat was entertained by these holy ones who living in the forest. In ancient time, the one who's seeking enlightenment, they will always dwell in the forest among nature in peace and harmony. That is called Vanprastha. Burn in the forest and stem to establish, where you establish yourself in a place of peace and harmony. The great king Ratasuratha spent some time moving about in the hermitage of the great saints and sages. So where he is in the company of the holy ones, the enlightened ones, genuinely enlightened devotees. There, whilst in their company, listen, something could happen. Whilst in the company, something happened to him. He was overcome with attachment. He was overcome with attachment. He fell into this thought. What he began to think? I do not know whether the capital, which was well guarded by my ancestors and recently deserted by me, is being guarded righteously or not by my servant of ill conduct. This is what thought now in his mind. I do not know what enjoyment my chief elephant, heroic and always elated, are now fallen into the hands of my enemies. I don't know what that elephant will get. Those who were my constant followers and have received favor, riches, and food from me, now certainly pay homage to other kings. The treasure which I gathered with great care will be squandered by those constant spendthrifts, those who like to spend, who are addicted to improper expenditures. They are addicted to what? Improper expenditures. In common language, they spend crazy and wild. Anything comes, it goes like this. Wastes of public funds. This was the kind of thoughts is in the mind of Ratasurat that plunged him into a delusion. Where he is? He's among the enlightened sages in the forest. Whilst you were there and drowning in this grief, in this attachment by these thoughts of his kingdom and his family and relatives and everything that he possessed, the king was continuously thinking of these and other things. Near the hermitage now, he saw a Brahmana. He saw a merchant. Near the hermitage of the Brahmanas, he saw a merchant. Itachanyaccha satatam chinta yamasa parthiyaha tatra viprashramabhyashe vaishamekam dadarshasah. Vaishamekam dadarshasah. The darsha means to see. He saw this Vaishya. And he said, Saprishtena kristambho hetuschagamane tratkah shaseka shasoka eva kasmatam durmana eva lakshase. Durmana. He's seeing, your mind. All the thoughts in your mind is reflected in your face. This face comes like a monitor in a computer. You cannot hide your feelings. You cannot hide your emotions. It will one day pop up right here. This is Bhagwan computer, You are a little thing playing up there. This is Bhagwan. He saw you play with our computer there. Same way Bhagwan play with us. But we don't know that. Again, we go pampering our ego. Mine, this is mine, that yours, this is mine. This is the boundary to cross there, Think, and think. So he saw this Vaishya, this merchant. So the king now was kicked out from his kingdom, seeing this merchant, and asked, "Wherefore do you appear as if afflicted with grief and depressed in mind?" He saw that in the body language. Hearing his speech of the king, the speech of the king, uttered in a friendly spirit, the merchant bowed respectfully and replied to the king, Raja Surat. The merchant said, "Vaishya ne kaha, samadhirnam vaishyo aham utpano dhaninam kule putradarer nirastascha dhanalobhadamas dhuni sadhubhi vihinascha dhanairdarair putraira dayame dhanam banaman banabhyagato dukhi nidastacha prabandhubhi." The merchant now is replying to the king, "O Raja, I am a merchant. My name is Samadhi." So now Samadhi is speaking to Raja Suratha. Born in a wealthy family. Born in a wealthy family. There are people born in poor family also. There are some people born in the street. Some born in dumps. Long time he's born in the Laguna and the Greenfield and thing. But he born into a rich family. "O Raja, I have been cast out by my sons and wife, who are wicked through greed of wealth." Through greed of wealth. Because of greed, they turn to be wicked. "My wife and sons have misappropriated my riches and made me devoid of wealth." This is Puran. I'm just reading exactly what I'm seeing here. Now, cast out by my trusted kinsmen, I have come to the forest, grief-stricken. Dwelling here, I do not know anything as regard good or bad of my sons. He's still saying his sons. Kinsmen and wife. At present, is welfare or ill luck? I don't know. Main nahi jano. Theirs at home, how are they? I don't know. O king, this is my predicament. Are my sons living good or evil lives? I don't know. The king now replied to Raja Vaishya Samadhi. Rajo vacha nairnirasto bhavang lubdhe putradara vidhir dhanai teshu kim bhavatah sneham anu bandhanati manasam. So the word bandhan, bound. You are mentally bound to the object of misery. Mentally bound. The Raja said, "O Vaishya Samadhi, why is your mind affectionately attached to those covetous folk? You are attached to those people who bring pain to you. Your sons, wife, and others who have deprived you of your own wealth, you are still attached to them. Listen. वैश्य ने कहा कि राजा, वैश्य उवाच एवमेतद्धित्था प्राह भवान् स्मद्गतं वचः Kim karomi na badnati mama nishtutaram manaha yeh santyavajya pitri sneham dhanalubdhaur nirakritah patihi swajanardam cha hadir devesha me manah. The merchant said, the Vaishya said, this very thought has occurred to me also. You know, so I had two people talking about, we thinking alike, boy. Then we thinking like, what's the problem? What's the answer now to this? Common everyday thing now. Commonly we experience these things. You see, listen carefully. Eh? What was in the beginning will be in the end. When you plant that seed in the beginning, what do you expect to reach in the end? This life isn't like that. Nothing changes. Everything is what we plant. This whole karma, this whole world, here's called karma bhumi. What you sow is what you're going to reap. Nothing less, nothing more. That's a principle. That is called dharma. Whether you accept dharma or not, dharma prevail. Truth is eternal. The absolute truth is eternal. This very thought has occurred to me. Just as you have uttered it. The king is telling the Vaishya, just how you thinking, I think in the same way. Same way to you thinking. What can I do now? My mind does not become hard. It bears great attachment, great affection, hear the word, great affection to those very persons who have driven me out in their greed for wealth, abandoning love for a father, an attachment to one's master and kinsman. I do not understand, although I know it, I don't understand it. See, knowing and understanding. Why I know this is Kali Yuga, but I can't understand what's going on. There's a part of the Ramayana. Someday Ashram will hold a Ramayana, or maybe sometime. There's a Kali Yuga Mahatma, the Kali Yuga Mahima, the activities that will take place in Kali Yuga. When I was doing the studies, I started to laugh, real laugh, like a real big joke, because I feel like somebody right here in this Kali Yuga. It's so real. So maybe if you even have a copy of the English Ramayana, you can read Uttarakhand. Look for the title Kali Yuga Mahatma, or the glories of Kali Yuga, or the things that will happen in Kali Yuga. You'll see there. Read. Hindus must read the scriptures. That's called Rishi Deva Bhava. Read the scriptures. So here, the king now, both of them now, is experiencing the same kind of emotion in the mind. What to do? I do not understand this, even though I know it. O noble-hearted king, hey Raja, how it is that the mind is prone to love even towards worthless kinsmen. How is this happening? How we, and this comment everybody, on account of them I have heavy sights and feel dejected because of them. What can I do since my mind do not become hard towards those unloving ones? Even though they do this to me, I cannot hate them. That's comment everybody? Yes. You're staying in, but you're getting all the pain, but you can't just leave. That's what is called an energy that have you there. You feel you is man, something holding you to suffer. That is the bandha, the binding power. Listen, what power is that? And you'll have a true concept of the goddess. मार्कांडे ने कहा, the great sage is saying to his disciple, ततस्तौ सहितौ विप्र तम मुनि समुपस्थितौ समाधिर्नाम वैश्योऽसौ सच पार्थिव सत्तमः कृत्वा तु तौ यथा ज्ञानं यथार्हतेन संविदम् उपविष्टो कथाः कश्चित् क्रतुर्वैश्यमार पार्थिवौ हरि ओम. Markandeya is saying to his disciple, about this conversation between the king and the merchant. How both of them had the same experience. One is a king and one is a father in the home, a householder. Then, O Brahmana, he says, the merchant Samadhi and the noble king Rajasurat together now, realizing that they are now helpless. Yeah? Because they know it, but they can't understand it. They can't comprehend this. That's the thing that everybody experiences every day. This is the life and the answer to every problem. They approach the Brahmanas. And in Trinidad, this word Brahmana is have misinterpretation, misunderstanding. Well, let me give you a next word. They went to the genuine, enlightened, holy people. And when I say holy, I mean they are in oneness with God. They appear to be right here, but they are in oneness, they are in yoga. Yuktam evam atmanam matparayanaha. Krishna says in the Gita. They approach the holy ones, the Brahmanas. And after observing the etiquette worthy of him, and as was proper, they sat down and spoke on some topics among the holy ones. Raja ne kaha, O Holy One, I wish to ask you one thing. Bhagatam statvaham prashtum ichhamekam vadasya tat. Vadas is Sanskrit word meaning, what does he to say? I want to say something to you. Dukkhaya yanme manasaha swachittaya tatam vina matvam gatarajasya rajangesha khileshvapi janatopi yathagnyasya kimetan muni sattama. The king is saying to the holy ones, the Brahmanas. He's speaking on behalf of his friend Vaishya Samadhi. I wish to ask you something. Be pleased to reply to it without the control, listen, without the control of my intellect. You know, plenty of people just forget to have an intellect, you know. Because we always operate on an emotional level, you know. Only on emotion. We have been controlled by emotion, not intellect. Without the control of my buddhi, my intellect, my mind, without the control of my intellect, my mind is afflicted. You must read the Gita, chapter 3. This is found there. Let me just shift a little bit. I told you, we are living in this body, right? Yes or no? Yes or no? Where we are living? In here, this is where we live. And who, this body have 4 things. I didn't make it all clear. Huh? 1, this body have a life. Correct? The life in Sanskrit is called Jiva. The life in this body is called Jiva. Jiva comes from God, Shiva, Bhagwan. And that same life is called a Bhuta, a living soul. So from Jiva which is the same thing, it comes from somewhere, which is the Supreme Brahman, who is all-pervading, lodged in this body is called a bhuta, a living soul. From that living soul comes the mind, intellect, ego. Huh? All are in this body. All are in this prakriti sthana, in this primordial matter. All of this in this temple of God. So what is greater than this physical body that one day will go in the coffin? What is more superior to this body? It is the senses. There's something controlling the eyes and things, Devanan, correct? That is the jnana indriyas. There's something called the jnana indriyas, these senses of knowledge that controls. When they see, it say what it see. And what is greater than the senses and the body is the mind. Body, senses, mind. What is greater than the mind? The senses is the mind. And what is greater than the mind is the intellect. See how we come to this point now? Because of my intellect which is superior to my mind is afflicted. So then in other words, then, I am not enlightened. I am not enlightened, so my lower energy now is ruling. And what is greater than intellect is Jiva itself, the life itself. Because now it is the life in this body that is taking you where you want to go. Chapter 18, verse 61. Ishvaraha sarvabhutanam hrideshe arjuna tishtati brahmayana sarvabhutani yantra ruddhani mayaya. Yantra means just like a machine. In this context, the word yantra, welcome Bhai, come in front. Just like a machine, you sit in a vehicle and it takes you. There's a driver that takes you. This is the vehicle and the Jiva, God, Krishna is the driver. Bhagavan is the driver of this vehicle and you must know that. This is a good reason why you must pray to God. Because when the life leaves this body is pronounced what? If the life leaves this body, it's pronounced lifeless or dead. And then if you see a dead man walking, well, you run by. Don't even watch back to see if he comes in. You just keep on running. That do happen. So you have to run. That do happen. And if it do happen, run, don't stand up. Because there are people long time, so we invoke the dead and make up a dead man and think, well, I have yantra, those are magical formulas and so on. But that will happen again. But we have a lot of walking dead, you know. Walking dead. And I didn't say so, eh? I just tell you what the Ramayana have, and this discussion was between Ravan and Angad. Angad told Ravan there are 14 types of living dead, and he see the 14 type in Ravan. So he was 14 times dead. That's spiritually dead now. So the king now is speaking on himself and on his behalf of the Vaishya Samadhi. That I'm afflicted because my intellect, without the control of my intellect, my mind is afflicted with sorrow. Sorrow. Isn't today, presently, the world is in sorrow? Huh? Because we have lost our intellect, our mind become corrupt. Though I have lost the kingdom, O Holy One, like an ignorant man, though I know it, I have an attachment to all the paraphernalia in my kingdom. I have an attachment to all the things in the kingdom. How is this? Something happened to me that where I have no control. See? Something happened to me where I have no control, but I'm aware of it. I know it. How many of you know meat is not good to eat, but you eat it? How many of you know? Anyway, let me stop quietly. From the trouble I start. My wife is always saying my mouth is put me in trouble, so let me stay quiet. Huh? How many of you know what is right and still go and do the wrong thing? Sanatan Dharma, Vedic Dharma is very clear. Categorically states in our Vedas, Ahimsa Paramo Dharma. Ahimsa, non-violence, not to violate the laws of nature. Do not interfere with nature. Let everything live its own life. The tree was born to live. Let it live. The fowl and the duck and the animals, the goat and all these animals was born just like you. They had to live like you. Eat, sleep, procreate, and like this. That is part of nature. God created a perfect world. And He tells to man, said to man, do not violate the laws of nature. Simple, that's a Vedic teaching. That's Sanatan Dharma. It's not my opinion. It is, I'm just repeating what is said by the divine. So the same thing the sages explained to himself, his personal experience. How is this? O best of sages, tell me. And this merchant also has been disowned by his own children, wife and servants, and forsaken by his own people. Still he is inordinately affectionate towards them. Tell me, what is causing this? We are helpless. Our body here and our mind there. Something is happening here. Thus, both of us, both he and I, drawn by attachment towards objects whose defects we don't know. Are exceedingly unhappy. Tell me. So what is important to listen? They are aware of their problem. They had to come in term. In order to get the problem solved, what you have to do? You have to be aware of it. You have to come in term with your problem. To solve the problem, you have to come in term with the problem. And where the problem is? Right in the city of yours. This body is also called a city. Everybody running to go Ayodhya, Mathura, and Kashi. And the Veda tells you, Dev, Ashta Chakra Naudwara, Devanam Puriyodhya, Tasyam Hiranyaya Koshaha, Swargo Jyotishabrataha. This body is Ayodhya with Ashta Chakra, with 8 energy centers. Do you know this body have 8 main glands? There are many, but 8 main fountain glands and 9 doors, 9 openings. In this temple, Hiranyaya Koshaha, that lighting orb dwells. That is the divine answer of Bhagavan. Bhagavan said to Sai Baba, teach to the world. Bhagavan came in that form to tell the world, oh man, you are one with God. Atma jo hai so Paramatma hai. Mama Ivansho, Ishvara Ansa Jiva Vinashi. Be reminded, you are the embodiment of divinity. Bhagavan took our form to just say that one thing, to remind us. The truth is only one. Ekam Sat Vipra Bahuda Vadanti. The truth is only one thing, repeatedly said in many ways by the wise. Tell me, O Holy One, what is happening here to us? Even though we are aware of what is happening, we are helpless, driven by this power of attachment. How this happens, then, O Holy Ones, that though we are aware of it, listen consciously, even though we are aware of it, this delusion comes. This delusion besets me as well as him, blinded as we are in respect to discrimination. What is called buddhi, intellect. So we are not able to discriminate now. Correct? You seen it? Listen. Rishi ne kaha. They spoke to the Rishi listened, and the Rishi is reporting to them now. Rishi vacha jnanamaste tamastasya jnanamaste samatasya jantor vishaya gochare. Vishaya gochare. Nice Sanskrit words. Vishayascha mahabhaga yantin chaivam prathak prathak. Devanya devandha praninaha ken kechitra travandhastavat tatha pare kechi driva tatha ratrau prani nastulya drishyah. Jnanino manuja satyam kintu te nahi kevalam yato hi jnaninah sarve pashupakshi mrigadayah. Om jnanam cha tanmanushyanam tattesham mrigapakshinam manushyanam cha yattesham tulyamanyattatho bhayoh. Jnanepi sati pashyahitan patgachanva vanchushu kanak no kanamoksha dritan mohat vidyamanapi kshuddha. Manusha manusha vyagra sabhilasha sutam prati लोभात प्रत्युपकाराय नन्वेतान किं पश्यति तथापि ममता वर्ते. वाह, ममता. तथापि ममता वर्ते मोह गते विपातिताः महामाया प्रभावेण संसारस्थि तिकारिणा. बोल आदि शक्ति जगदम्बा माता की जय. If you listen carefully, you will see all of us are in this katha. Even though we know, yet we are helpless, driven towards. Listen. How this happens, O Holy One? The Rishi said now, every being has the knowledge of objects. This reminds me in the Ramayana, in Balkand. Goswami Tulsidas ne kaha, Guna avaguna janat sab koi, Shri Ram Jai Jai Ram. Guna avaguna janat sab koi. Tulsidas acknowledges that every human being on the face of this earth, they know what is good and bad for themselves. Yes or no? Yes or no? Everybody knows that. Something the mind is telling me to say, but I don't want to say it. And I'll not say it so you won't know. But you experience it by the song Bhat to say the truth. But I got to tell you this still. Many of us know many things that we're not supposed to do, and we just do it. I just mentioned one thing to you. But anytime you abuse anything, whether eating, sleeping, recreation, anything you abuse, you create an imbalance, you do excessive, it spells out trouble. 6th chapter of Bhagavad Gita. And I want you to take up from there. So we are the creator of our own problem. That is problem. Of course, the abuse of anything and anyone. The abuse, that's the point here. Anytime you do any act to disturb the equilibrium of the life, of your life, you are in problem. Because everything runs on an equilibrium, on a balance. Correct? So you must strike the balance in life. Today I oversleep. I rest because I thought my throat will get better, but it'll get a little worse. That's some bad karma. I go pay for it. We must strike the balance. And here this Raja Suratha and Vaishya Samadhi, they are experiencing the result of their imbalance. The Rishi said, every being has the knowledge of objects perceivable by the senses. Perceivable by the senses means everything you see, you know what it is. You see her driving a speeding vehicle, you don't know not to go in front of it, you get bongs. You see fire, you don't know put your hand in it. You get burned. An object, so he says here, the Rishi now acknowledges, yes, we know, and the Rishi is saying now, every being has the knowledge of things. Objects means everything you can see. We are all objects to one another. The world is of objects only. And we all know an object of sense reaches it in various ways. Some beings are blind by day and others are blind by night. Some beings have equal sight, both day and night. Human beings are certainly endowed with knowledge, but they do not only, he says here, but they are not the only being to be endowed with knowledge. For cattle, birds, animals, and other creatures also cognize objects of senses. And the birds, you'll see the birds feeding in the savannah, and they know where to find their food. So they know what they're looking for. They know what they're looking for. So the rishis is saying to the king and the merchant, yes, what you're saying is common. The animal know that too. They are attracted to the objects as you are telling me you are attracted to the object and you're helpless. He said, the rishi said, yes, the animals too. Huh? The knowledge that men have, birds and other objects also have. The rishi is saying, this is the answer of the rishis. The same knowledge that men have, birds and beasts, they also have. And what they have, men also possess. And the rest, like eating, sleeping, is common to both animal and men. This knowledge is also found in the Upanishads. Look at these birds, the rishis now is telling them. Look at these birds, which though they possess of knowledge and are themselves distressed by hunger, are yet, because of the delusion, engaged in dropping grains into the beaks of their young ones. Look. Human beings are, O tiger among men, he said, attached to the children because of greed for return help. This is what the Rishi is saying. For return. This is why in the Kanya Dana, the self-parents, when you marry your children, you had the children. But the ladies don't like to hear that at all. From the time you give your daughter in hand, and not only your daughter, your son too, I just tell my wife, we have no more children now. Just we are alone now. That we have to come in terms with. If you have someone to give it, you can have it still. Huh? You can have it still. That you must understand. That's what Sanatana Dharma is based on, these principles. These are the principles of what we call Sanatana Dharma, the eternal principles that govern this universe. When those principles are not adhered to, or you don't follow them, you don't follow these teachings, or be guided by these principles, we are going to create imbalance in our life. And when one human being is in problem, he creates a problem in society. It started one rotten tomatoes, and that remain in a basket, it pollutes all the thing. You have one fella in a village and he bad, and he is persuasive. He could pursue everybody to do the wrong thing. And so we began to have a cancer society, and that's where we are today. So the Rishis is again projecting this divine thought. Men also possess, and the rest, like eating and sleeping, is common to both men and animal. Look at these birds, as he said. Because of delusion, engage in dropping grains into the beaks of the young one. Human beings are a tiger among men, attached to the children because of greed for return of help. Do you know this? Do you know this? The Rishi asked the Holy One, the Raja Surat and Vaishya Samadhi. Even so, men are hurled into whirlpool of attachment and the pit of delusion through the power of Mahamaya. Mahamaya means a great delusion. So now we are coming to the answer of the problem. The answer of the question. The question is, what causing this? This is the cause of the power they call Mahamaya. In common English, this word Mahamaya means the great deluding energy. A great deluding power that controls the mind and control every human being. See like how they control the computer? Well, God is controlling. We are His computer. We are the computer in the hands of Bhagavan. And if you think what I am saying is not right, Devanand is an old singer. I mean, you're old, you're a singer. We'll sing old song. And most fellows who could sing older. Koi lakh kare chaturai, karam ka likha mite nare bhai. Karam ka likha mite nare bhai. Oh brother, what is written down there for you, you have to face it. If it takes you 100,000 years, Amani bhai, I show you another song. If it takes you 100,000 years, that karma written for you will not be removed. Na likha mite nare bhai. That will not remove. Mite means to finish. It will not come to an end until it bear fruit. Until you enjoy the phala of that karma. Don't you know this, O Holy One? Don't you know this, O Raja, O Vaishya Samadhi? Even so, men are hurled into delusion because this attachment, Mahamaya, the great delusion, who makes the existence of the world possible. That power called Mahamaya, who make the existence of the world possible. And when we speak of existence, we mean what you can perceive, what you can see. Can't we see one another? Can we see beautiful things? Huh? That's the external things. But remember, we are in this body, and in this body we are using the organs to behold out of this body. And if you go within this body, what we will see in this body, the scripture is saying to us, I'm just imparting to you what we will see within when we go. We are a spark of light, and we will see that light. Lord Krishna declares in Bhagavad Gita, chapter 15 in 2 verses, verse 7, verse 6, and verse 12. Verse 7, verse 6 he says, Nattad bhasate suryo nishashankuna pavakaha yad gatva na nivartante tad dham paramam mama. That dham, that abode, is a fount of radiance, of light, effulgence, which is shining where yadaditagatam tejo jagat bhasate akhilam yat chandramasya chagnav tat tejo vidhimamakam. That light that shines in the sun, moon and fire, know that light to be mine. That same light is shining in all of us. Antara Jyoti Namo, Baba Satya Sai says. The Veda says. Antara Jyoti Namo. When we as Sanatanas say Namaskar, I bow to the light within. Knowing that God is within you. Knowing that this temple that God created, God lives in His temple. God lives in that temple, eternal. Not eternal in the sense because the body will die one day. But God is pure and eternal. And from that divinity we emerge. We are called Ans of Jiva, of Shiva, of Bhagavan. We are part of the Lord. And the Lord is living in this body, give birth to us and give us that freedom. He is taking us all about, driving us. What do you think is the meaning of Lord Krishna say, I want to be the driver of the chariot, and I will not fight. We must see God working in His creation. We must see God as a life in His body. And we must see, if we lose sight of that, if we lose sight of our divinity where we come from, then we'll end up in the delusion. in the darkness, that Mahamaya, that who now we fall in her control now. Duryodhana, he said, Lord, I want your army. Me, I want you. You don't want to fight. I want to kill them fellas and take all the land. So the Mahabharata, Ram Katha, Devi Bhagavatam, all of this thing is live. And we are living it. Now we have to be aware of it. The Rishi, it is said here, marvel not at this. It is that Maya, that delusion that is causing this to happen. What she is causing? That bondage. How? Through attachment. She is in control of that, not you. You are aware of it, but you can't control it. You're aware of your anger, huh? You could control it? Maybe, but there'll be a time to come, you lose that control. That is where you ought to understand we are governed by a power, the supreme power, and that should give us a good reason why we must turn to God, the supreme power. Jagadisha, Paramisha, Jagadadhara, that supreme must turn to that Lord. Marvel not at this, O Rishi, O Holy One, O Raja Suratha, O Vaishya Samadhi. Don't be marvel at this. Marvel at this. This Mahamaya is the Yoga Nidra. Yoga Nidra means the power that puts you to sleep. All the big and strong you are, all the intelligent you are, and you make it at 10 to 6 shift in the night, Dave. And you work 10 to 6 already? What's happening around 2, 3 o'clock in the morning? And you're aware of it, but you can't fight it. They say, don't fight the sleep, pull us around sleep. Especially when you're driving. Bhagavan is, the Rishis say categorically clear, that power is the power of Bhagavan. Who is that power now? Having heard of this power, having heard of a supreme energy, which they are unaware of, something is going to happen. Inquiry. If you have to worship the Lord, you have to inquire. You have to find the Lord. When you find the Lord, then worship will take place. Common sense. Simple. Marvel at this. The Mahamaya is the Yoga Nidra of Vishnu Bhagavan. Now, understand me. You got to understand the language. Our whole dharma is based on a language. And the language is not English. The language is Sanskrit. Our Vedas is written in Sanskrit. And then broken down to different languages. The word Vishnu means omnipresent. The word Vishnu means omnipresent. Vishnu means omnipresent. So here what it says, that Mahamaya is the Yoga Nidra of Lord Vishnu, the Lord of the world. It is by her the world is deluded. Verily she, the Bhagavati, the Mahamaya, forcibly drawing the mind of even the wise, thrown them into delusion. You know the song we'll sing? My father used to sing the song. Maya Mahathagani Ham Jani, Maya Mahathagani Ham Jani, Maya Mahathagani Ham Jani. Nirgun pass, that unseen hook. Nirgun pass aliye kar tole, bolat madhuri bani. केशव के फंदा है बैठे शिव की भवन भवानी माया महाठगनी हम जानी माया महाठगनी हम जानी. Mahathagani is that power of the Lord Vishnu. So here we have the all-pervading power of this universe. That power that permeates this universe. He from whom all of us are part of. His energy is called Maya. His Shakti is called Maya. It is by her this world is deluded. In truth, she, the Divine Mother, Mahamaya, forcibly drawing the minds of everybody. Nirguna pass, like an unseen hook. She grabs you and she takes you where she wanted to be. Even of the wise, so great and powerful she is, throws them into delusion. She creates this entire universe. This creation was created by her. Tell me, in our scriptures, who is the first manifestation of divinity? Tell me, who is the first manifestation of divinity? Not Saraswati Mata? Huh? Moni? The first celebration we celebrate in the month of January, Basan Panchami. Huh? Ma, Shakti, Saraswati. She appeared with the four Vedas. See the Murti there? The four Vedas in hand, holding the Veena and the crystal Mala. So she is the creator of this universe, both moving and unmoving. Devi Prapannarti Hare Prasida, Prasiddha Matar Jagato Khilasya, Prasiddha Vishweshwari Pai Vishwam, to Amishwari Devi Charachara. Charachara means moving and unmoving. She is the mother of all creation. It is she who, when propitious, becomes a boon giver to human beings. And we'll stop at this point, devotees. We'll have to bhajan by our brother Devanand. Today, Madan group is in charge of singing. And at this time, before we close, we'll have to bhajan by our dear brother Devanand. And after, we will continue Aarti. And tomorrow, we'll continue this Katha. So please come tomorrow. It is said, who come for 9 nights of Devi Mahatmya, you're going to get full blessings. So his choice is yours. Bhajan. Acharya.
Sitaram to each and everyone. Baba said that I'll sing old songs, so I'll sing 2 new songs. Why I don't sing old songs? A guy used to always, when he drinking, he used to sing Pinjare Ke Panchi. So they started to call he Pinjare Ke Panchi. So I don't even like to sing those old songs. And Baba talked about Surat, Raja Surat. So coincidentally, I'm going to sing about Krishna Surat. Mohan tumhari surat, Mohan tumhari surat, हमको सजा रहे हैं, हमको सजा रहे हैं, मोहन तुम्हारी सूरत ऐसी हरी है दिल में, ऐसी हरी है दिल में, भूली जहाँ रही है, भूली न जा रहे हैं, मोहन तुम्हारी सूरत, मोहन तुम्हारी सूरत। आ जाओ अब कन्हैया, तुम बिन बिचरने आके, आ जाओ अब कन्हैया, तुम बिन बचार आके, लरिया बना बना के आंसू बहा रही है, आंसू न रोक नहीं है, आंसू न रोक नहीं है, आहें न थम रहे हैं, आहें न थम रहे हैं, मोहन तुम्हारी सूरत हमको सजा रहे हैं, हमको सजा रहे हैं, मोहन तुम्हारी सूरत। जान जा रहे हैं, प्यारा कहे क्या मोहन, अब जान जा रहे हैं, अब प्राण ही कहेंगे, बीती हुई कहानी, दर्शन दो प्राण प्यारे, दर्शन दो प्राण प्यारे, श्यामा भुला रहे हैं, श्यामा भुला रहे हैं, मोहन तुम्हारी सूरत ऐसी हरी है दिल में, भूली न जा रहे हैं, भूली न जा रहे हैं, मोहन तुम्हारी सूरत, मोहन तुम्हारी सूरत। Just one, I will dedicate to the goddess that we worship today and to all those ladies and girls who we also worship as goddess. तेरे गौर में सर है मैया, अब मुझको क्या डर है मैया, तेरे गौर में सर है मैया, अब मुझको क्या डर है मैया, दुनिया नजरे फिर तो फिर, दुनिया नजरे फिर तो फिर, मुझ पे तेरी नजर है मैया, तेरे गौर में सर है मैया, बोलो मैया तेरी जय जयकार, मैया तेरी जय जयकार,
मैया तेरी जय जयकार, मैया तेरी जय जयकार।
बोलो तेरे गोद में सर मैया, अब मुझको क्या डर मैया, मैया तेरी जय जयकार, मैया तेरी जय जयकार, मैया
तेरी जय जयकार, मैया तेरी जय जयकार।
तेरा दर्श यहाँ भी है, तेरा दर्श वहाँ भी है, तेरा दर्श यहाँ भी है, तेरा दर्श यहाँ भी है, हर दुख से लड़ने को मैया तेरा एक जयकारा काफी है, काफी है, तेरे गोद में सर मैया, बोलो मैया तेरी जय जयकार, मैया तेरी जय जयकार, मैया
तेरा दरबार, मैया तेरी जय जयकार।
तेरे गोद में सर मैया, मैं संतान तू माता, तू मेरी जीवन दाता, मैं संतान तू माता, तू मेरी जीवन दाता, जग में सबसे गहरा मैया तेरा हो मेरा नाता, नाता, बोलो तेरे गोद में सर है मैया, मैया तेरी जय जयकार,
मैया तेरी जय जयकार, मैया तेरी जय जयकार, मैया तेरी जय जयकार, जय जयकार, मैया तेरी जय जयकार,
मैया तेरी जय जयकार, मैया तेरी जय जयकार, ओ मैया तेरी जय जयकार, मैया तेरी जय जयकार। Thank you, Bob, for giving me this opportunity.
बोल वृंदावन हिलाल की जय, बोली आदि शक्ति जगदम्बा माता की जय, तेरी महिमा जय जयकार. Giving glory to the Divine Mother, we'll thank our dear brother Devanand for wonderfully chanting this divine glories of the Divine Mother. So we'll stand for Aarti. Please keep your eyes focused upon Mother Durga, Mata, Ma Ki Shakti, as we sing her praises and her glories. Jayambe Gauri, Maya Jai Shama Gauri. Oh, Purnahuti, let's put our hand together. Purnahuti, Purna means the Supreme Brahman, Almighty God, who is perfect, who is complete. We glorify you, Father. Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnatha Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Sarvam Vai Purnagvam Swaha. Pour some ghee on it. Om Vasahu Pavitramasi Shatadharam Vasahu Pavitramasi Sahasradharam Deva Savita Punatu Vasahu Pavitrena Shatadharena Suptakam Nuksha. Om water on the fire. Om Varnaspatir Sodbhuto Gandadhu Gandhutamam Aghras Devanam Tupam Pratighatam Tupam Aghrayami. Water. Om Agninaya Supatharaya Sman Vishwani Vayunani Vidwan Yuyojasuhu Huranumino Bhushtandina Mukta Vidhimam. Om Brahm Agne Namaha. Bow to the fire. Om Tejvasi Tejvamai Dehi. Pull the flame towards the sun 6 times. Om Balamasi Balamai Dehi. Om Ojavasi Ojamai Dehi. Om Vidyamasi Vidyamai Dehi. Om Manusi Madhurmai Dehi. Om Sahosi Sahumai Dehi. Om Balamasi Balamai Dehi. Om Brahm Agnidevata Bhagavan Ki Jai. Agni Narayana Bhagavan Ki Jai. Mahadevi Durga Mata Ki Jai. Devi Aarti. Please join with us.
जय अम्बे गौरी मैया जय श्यामा गौरी हर ब्रह्मा शिव ओम जय अम्बे गौरी
ताल मृदंगा, बाजत ताल मृदंगा और बाजत डमरू। तुम हो जग की माता, तुम ही हो भरता, मैया तुम ही हो भरता। भक्तन की दुख हरता, भक्तन की दुख हरता, सुख संपत्ति करता। भुजा चार अति शोभित वर मुद्रे धारी, मैया वर मुद्राधारी। मन वांछित फल पावत, मन वांछित फल पावत, सेवत नर नारी। कंचन थाल विराजत अगर कपूर बाती, मैया अगर कपूर बाती। माल के तुमन राजत, माल के तुम्हें राजत, कोटि रतन ज्योति। जय अम्बे गौरी, मैया जय श्यामा गौरी। निश दिन तुमको ध्यावत, निश दिन तुमको ध्यावत, हर ब्रह्मा शिव जी। ओम जय अम्बे गौरी, ओम जय अम्बे गौरी, ओम जय अम्बे गौरी, ओम जय अम्बे गौरी।
बोले आदि शक्ति जगदम्बा माता की जय। गणपति गिरिजा वृषभध्वज, शनमुखो नंदे मुखदिंदिमान्। मनुजमाल त्रिशूल मृगस्त्वचं, प्रतिदिनं कुशलं जयमङ्गलम्। प्रतिदिनं कुशलं जयमङ्गलम्। May all of you and all of us who have gathered this evening, may that Almighty Divine Shakti Ma continue to bless us every day with new joy and happiness. Ravi Shashi Kuja Indu Brihaspati, Brija Kuja Bhanuja Siddhan Ketava, Udaganamapi Yogacharashasam, प्रतिदिनं कुशलं जयमङ्गलम्। प्रतिदिनं कुशलं जयमङ्गलम्। ॐ देवी प्रपन्नार्ति हरे प्रसीद, प्रसिद्ध मातर्जगतोऽखिलस्य, प्रसीद विश्वेश्वरि पाहि विश्वं, त्वमीश्वरि देवी चराचरस्य। ॐ त्वमेव माता च पिता त्वमेव, त्वमेव बन्धु च सखा त्वमेव, त्वमेव विद्या द्रविणं त्वमेव, त्वमेव सर्वं मम देवदेव। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्ति। बोले आदि शक्ति जगदम्बा माता की जय। प्रेम से आसन लीजिए, please take your seats. I want to thank Almighty God for blessing us all together. I want to show my gratitude to those, all those who have made a contribution. I want to say to you that this yajna is only hosted by us. It is our desire to do this yajna, supported by my father-in-law and other family members and friends. And the moment we card this yajna, everybody made a contribution. Everybody said, Baba, I want to do one night. And so, you know what happened? We have lost all our nights. So this yajna was now taken by the devotees. We are just hosts in this yajna. And you know who you are. I want to say God bless and my gratitude to every one of you who have made a contribution. Today, our brother Norrell came from Springville and he cooked all the food for us. He wanted to cook the food for us daily. And again, may God bless everyone. Today I saw my brother Lalo with us, with his system doing his live covering. I want to say blessings to him. Last time, Uncle Gopichan streamed live for us. May God bless him. And may God bless Ashok and his family, Reena and AJ and Vani for sitting tonight. Every night a new family will give and will come and perform puja. So may Bhagwan bless you as you sit, receive prasadam. You have Panchamrit boy? Panchamrit today and Arti. Whilst you're having a meal, your Arti and everything, sit and have it, then you'll have a meal on the side. We have box food for those who would like to take with them. So if you require box food, talk to my wife Michelle. She'll provide for you. And we have those who want to eat here. We have tables provided for everyone. Please, the food was prepared for you. Please partake. If you can't eat it now, carry it home. We don't want to waste food. You can eat and carry it too, no problem. That's what a yajna is about. So while you sit and receive, we'll have bhajan by our dear brother Madan and his family. May God bless all of you. Sit, enjoy, receive your prasad, arti, panchamrit, and then please partake of meals before leaving. Remember, there are box food who want to carry. Please come tomorrow.
दर्शन हो माँ तेरे सबकी अभिलाषा है, मन में रहो तुम सबके, तुमसे यही आशा है। क्या मेरा क्या उसका, ये अपना भराया क्या, सद ज्योति जला कर दे, उद्धार करो दुर्गा, उद्धार करो दुर्गा। तुम विनती सुनो सबकी, कल्याण करो जग का। तुम विनती सुनो सबकी, कल्याण करो जग का। सदरा हरिका करके, उद्धार करो दुर्गा, उद्धार करो दुर्गा। तुम विनती सुनो सबकी, संसार तो माया है, कभी डूब कभी छाया है। एक दिन उसे जाना है, जो भी यहाँ आया है। संसार तो माया है, कभी डूब कभी छाया है। एक दिन उसे जाना है, जो भी यहाँ आया है। क्या रंग है जीवन का, क्या रूप है मानव का। तुम ज्ञान भरा करके, उद्धार करो दुर्गा, उद्धार करो दुर्गा। तुम विनती सुनो सबकी, कल्याण करो जग का। सदरा हरिका करके, उद्धार करो दुर्गा, उद्धार करो दुर्गा। तुम विनती सुनो सबकी।
Thank you, Betula.